Welcome to another episode of Instructron Unstructured.
Unstructured.
Episode 5, people.
That's wild. Here we
It's
are.
Things have been, they're just going. School's going right now.
I feel like we're getting into a routine, which is nice.
Routine is nice, but I gotta just share a story that just is teaching in a nutshell for people who don't know. Last Friday, I was trying to welcome students in, we're starting the day, and then I just hear, oh, there's a bug in the sink. And so I'm like, okay. I was like, hold on. I go over. It's a huge house centipede. Now, house centipede are gnarly looking, like 15 legs.
Our building has so many.
So everybody's like, "Bleh!" So 10 kids stand up. You're like, sit down. So I tell them to sit down, and then we have an official bug catcher in our class. So, AKA, because I can't be like, because deep down inside, I'm crying and I'm going, please go away. But the kids are like, I'll catch it. So I give them a clear cup. They catch it. And I go, set it free to the world. Okay, great. She walks out. I go, okay, all right. Today, what we're going to do, there's a bug over here.
What?
I literally was like, guys, I just want to get through. I just want to get through, my directions.
Was it another centipede?
I couldn't even tell. It was so small. And I looked at the student. I was like, that doesn't need a grand gesture.
That one doesn't count.
Because then 5 kids stand up and try to look at this bug. I'm like, oh, guys, y'all think this is easy. It's hard. But I was just kind of like, I stood there and I think I said, anything else?
Yeah.
Any of the bugs want to come out?
What else do we need to take care of before we can actually?
Because I just felt like the moment I was going to be like, okay, so what I really want to tell you, no, interruption. No. Anyways, you know what won't interrupt you is Coach Tronnie.
Yeah, Coach Tronnie won't.
He won't. But anyways, that was routines are settling, but of course, day to day is always ridiculous.
It is. I had to take a random sub day last week. I was sick one day, so
I know the
already
germs have gotten you.
It's so annoying.
I feel a sniffle, but I'm not.
Don't succumb to it. Don't succumb
I'm
to
not, because I went home and I took vitamin C.
As soon as you take a NyQuil, though, you're gonna.
I'm not.
You'll be done. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna take a NyQuil, but our bodies are like, oh no, I feel so bad. But you have to tell yourself, no, don't let it win. Don't let it win.
Exactly.
I'm on the tail end from what
tail end
brought home, so.
Well, you've got littles that are bringing home all the.
They bring it home to you.
Yeah, so can't escape it either way, teacher or parent.
Exactly. Yeah. Back to school season is all about germs.
It is. It's so gross. But when they are in school and we are healthy, our routines are settling now. And one of the things we talked about last week was setting up reading rotations or reading groups. Now, Joe, we are upper grade, so we do rotations.
No, it's more about you need to have something that you can work on independently at your seat, and then something to do when you're with me. But we're not going to go you're all going to the listening station or whatever you might do in primary.
So in a nutshell, we do a must-do list and then a may-do list, and then there's a catch-up in the middle, right? So the must-do is you need to do these things. And then the may-do is we've got some computer games, reading, whatever. So when we're meeting with a small group of students, the question is always, what do we give these kids who are working on their own that then they're not asking us 5,000 questions because we just can't answer those questions. So insert Instructron. This is going to be such a game changer, and we've already used it, so we kind of want to share just a quick little reading passage that we gave our students to do on their own, and then taught them a little bit about how to prompt the coach, knowing that we as their teachers can see what they're doing.
But then it's also actual useful practice for them. It's not busy work. It's going to be based on a standard that we're focusing on when you're meeting with me. So it's almost like you get two teacher groups, one with the
Yes.
human teacher and one with the robot teacher.
And the robot teacher is going to give you some data at the end, which is really
exactly.
nice.
That's
So, so we're going to show you really quick how to do one. And Qua's got the demo account because we have our personal accounts. And so
there you go.
Really quick, I'll show you what I did, Qua. So if you're in Instructron, if you've got like a trial account or you have an account, again, it's free for everyone to try. So you want to create your list, and then when you scroll, when you scroll up to the top,
you mean?
Yeah, all those are the students. But when you scroll up, that button, AI test, yes, that's the one that we use to create a quiz. So go ahead and click that one. Okay. What I did today, and like Joe, I don't know if you did like similar, but like I just called it like main idea. I just focused on some main idea. You probably focus on another thing.
Well, I was just focusing on, like, we're working right now on RI 5.1, which is finding text evidence. And so I just called it football reading because I made mine about football.
Okay, and so that's kind of the nice thing. This test title is like whatever you want to call it.
It's right? Whatever you are going to, when you are revisiting your data, you'll know exactly what it is that you're, referring back to.
Okay, Quad, call it Minecraft reading, just so that it's like easy when we come back. Yeah, so I left it at 5 questions and actually kept the difficulty level at a pretty basic level.
I did too. I did basic today just for.
So if you want to drop that, that just makes it easier. Now there's a button that says include reading passage already clicked, so that was kind of cool, right? So we'll get a passage with it, and then customize. This is where I wrote Minecraft. And it's already grade 5. So that was what I did. And then next. Okay. And then we get to this page, which is really cool because you can kind of choose your own standards. Now, since we chose grade 5, when you scroll down, I believe it's all the 5th grade like standards already there. And like Joe said, we're working on RI 5.1. So, even if you want to like go with what you're doing, or if you're like, I just want a general like main idea, whatever, but we'll keep this standard. And then next, I think scroll to the bottom, and then that's standard. Okay. So once you kind of double check that everything is the way you want it, you'll click generate test, and it's going to take a little bit of time because it's got to do its thing. It's got to do the magic.
Creating the passage and the questions, and then also.
Right.
I'm sorry. He's also feeding into Tronnie, right? So that Tronnie knows how to prompt when the students have questions.
Right. And so I recommend like doing this before the day starts and have it like ready to go. So when your students log in, it's there. I know I've been guilty of being like, oh, let me like make that really fast and like give it to you. But it really does need to think. And the nice thing is, you will have to kind of really look through every question before you assign it, because just like with all things AI, there might be errors, right? And so just reread it, make sure you're like, this is appropriate for my students. Maybe there's an answer that doesn't match, but yeah, what was that? How many seconds did that take? 40 seconds, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
It'll depend on the complexity. And
yeah. Okay, so here is the passage. Now, the only thing that was funny is I was like, I don't know if this is accurate because I don't know Minecraft. but my students were like, this is accurate. I'm like, okay. Okay, so the passage is pretty short, four paragraphs. So, you want to read through to be like, okay. But the nice thing now is when you go down to all these questions, you can kind of check. And like that first one, I would even edit where
so it's capitalized.
Right.
Why didn't it capitalize,
Yeah, and it's like things so small, but it's like, okay, I can fix that. Or maybe I want to rewrite it differently.
Or if there's like an answer choice that you want to change, you can do that as well.
Yeah. Right. So that's kind of nice. You can also, looks like the advanced fields even let you kind of do the feedback stuff too, which is really cool. I didn't do that because it was already set and I felt like it was good.
Yeah, this is a bit of the additional stuff we do behind the scenes. Like if a kid hits hint, give me a hint.
Yeah.
This, and this is AI generated too. Like it has the reading passage, has the questions, and it tries to give at least something that isn't going to completely give away the answer, but at least direct them in the right, nudge them the right way.
It's honestly what I would say. It's like,
Exactly.
I
Well,
like
go back and look in paragraph 1.
see
You know.
what the emeralds are, like yeah.
Yeah.
So this, you would go through and just for time's sake, let's say like you went through all of this and you're like, okay, looks
Everything
pretty
looks
good.
great.
I feel happy with it. Then
If you don't want a question, just toss it out, like uncheck it here and
right, you can uncheck because you're like, I don't like that, but it looks pretty good. So you can go ahead and add it to the classroom.
okay.
So then on the student side, they're going to see it and they're going to work through it. But that's what they'll do independently with the coach if they want to have coach access. It'll kind of look like you said, there you go. So it kind of looks like that. Now, what's really cool is while the kids are working on this, right, when they're finished, then you kind of go back to your screen and you get like the data, which is where you can go to the analysis piece. I know that, yeah, like if you go to analytics, there is that button that says content analysis, that second button, Kwa.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm going to show my data because obviously we don't have a bunch of students, but I just want to show like how cool this part looks like. So I think I sent you.
I'll load it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's really neat is that all the kids, you'll look and you'll see, oh, they all got 100%. But that's not necessarily, that's like an eventually they got to the right answer. But like,
and that's kind of I mean, if they don't, like, because they have unlimited chances to get there. So
yeah,
that's kind of the goal is everything should say 100% eventually correct. But
like we want them to feel successful at the end. Like long story short, this is
truly,
it's
not a test. It's more practice, right?
Guided
so it's independent practice.
So then what I noticed for my kids is like question 2, which when I look at my question that I had, it was which choices are the main idea, select all that apply. They're only selecting one. They're not really reading select all, right? So I noticed that was the lowest. And then question 4 was like, which choice best summarizes the passage? They were really, really good at summarizing. So like, I like seeing.
What I think is interesting too is over on the right shows you how often someone like interacted with the coach in order to get the right answer. So number 1, it looks like for you had a lot of interactions, and that's because if you look, they didn't score super well the first go around. So they probably asked for some clarifying questions, and by the end, those clarifying questions help them get to the right answer.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just make a note that my 29 at the end, so not necessarily were those coaches. I looked at their responses and it was like, "Thanks so much. Have a good day. See you later." So
they're very polite to their robot
they're
friends.
super polite.
It's really nice.
Tronnie, or they're like hee 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 hee, and so I had to be like, "Listen, I know it's not inappropriate, but
I wish I got those thank yous at the end of each lesson that I do with them. Like, thank you so much. Like after I give them a test. Yeah, right.
You're so nice to the robot." So, anyways, you can exit out of this, Qua. I think like that is kind of like a really like big, like amazing moment to be.
I just love that it's so like easy to make. Like you go in the morning, you say, I want it on this standard. Cause I mean, I did one today. Mine was about football in my class. And then because I had a lot on my student, dashboard that said they were into sports. So I was like, okay, let's
mine said video games.
Perfect. But I can go in tomorrow and do the exact same standard and have a completely different topic, and it'll feel like a new activity for them.
Yeah,
so I'm super excited about that.
You can choose. There's math too. I know this is still in beta, but I mean, it's really, really amazing. And obviously the big goal at the end of the year is like, we originally built this for test prep, and that's still going to be there. And by that time, I think the kids are going to be so used to the style of those questions that, if we're looking at long-term goal, having kids do well on state testing or anything, I think our kids are going to feel much more confident.
Right. I love that it can be used for test prep, but also just for a daily reading activity. It doesn't even necessarily need to be high stakes.
Yeah, and I think I've been probably nerding out too hard and trying to make this AI generated testing work, but I also feel like to make it even easier for all our users, we could start to build out our own banks of reading passages and
Mhm.
Oh,
questions.
yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that quality piece. You can just be like, all right, pick from a list and go. And you can
Mhm.
trust that, our team has reviewed things to know that it's accurate. And, like that'd be nice kind of like
Mhm.
intermediary. So if you wanted to go super custom, have the topics that your kids care about and all of that, then yes, use the AI test generation. If not, you
Mhm.
can still just, whatever activity you want to pull off the shelf. Like you were saying, sometimes it's like last minute and you just
Mhm.
you need something, and maybe you don't have time to pull it together and you don't want to do the CASP, related practices. Yeah,
Right.
that's something I definitely want to spend some time doing.
Yeah, I mean, the big goal that we also talked to you, Qua, about is that Joe and I want to be able to say, hey, we've got a math quiz. If we can like take a picture and scan it and then have Tronnie coach them through what that looks like, that would be.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily like making the actual test that I have, making that the test, but more like the CASP one, create a test prep that will prepare them to take this actual test that I have to give them. So here's
Because
what I'm going to be giving as a unit test in math. Coach Tronnie, I want you now to walk me through similar problems so that students can practice.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Coaching behind it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not a great test taker. I'm not good with tests, and I feel like had I had something like this to coach me through and give me like more positive feedback to know what I'm getting right or wrong, I think I would have felt more confident going in, to it. So, um,
Well,
super
I
excited.
know like you and I are big on giving study guides or something
Yeah,
before
we
we
are.
give
We
a
love
test.
giving study guide. I just
But
feel like it
like if
helps
a
them.
student has a study guide,
How
okay.
will they know if they're
Like
getting
how do we know if they're using it? How do we know if they're like whatever they filled in on their study guide is correct or not?
Well,
Are
and
they
I think
practicing
that's
it correctly?
the end goal too as a parent. Like,
Mhm.
my child brings home a study guide from middle school math.
Right.
I want to be able to be like, how can you get a support if you need to ask a question where I'm not having to go Google how to do something,
Exactly.
So I think
It's
our
interactive study guide essentially.
yeah. So I'm excited. I think
It's been awesome.
should we tease the thing that's like,
Yeah. So
oh,
do you want me I don't know. Can I even share? I don't know if I can share. Do you or
Good.
do you have access to mine or no?
I don't off of, like
Okay.
my immediate.
I'll try sharing and see what
let's see,
happens.
and if
If
you're
I freeze,
frozen,
I freeze
you
because
freeze.
apparently my internet is not great at my house.
You
But
need to upgrade
this
your
kind
internet.
of goes with the reading groups because we had that timer and the timer was awesome because we could like add a little bit of information. Quad took it to the extreme
The
and has
extreme.
built out
Made us
like
like
this
our
amazing
customized
thing that is going
whiteboard.
to have a life of its own. But so in order to organize my groups, I have now created basically a slide. I guess I'll just show it. That just kind of tells kids where to go.
Oh yeah,
Can
we
you
can see
see?
it.
Works.
Yay.
You see? All right. So, like
What's
for
so
example,
amazing? There's 3 timers.
there's 3 timers. And so like when I'm meeting with this first group, I turn this timer on and then all my other students are working on whatever the must do is, or if they're finished with
Uh-huh.
that, then they move on to the may do. The great thing is they are now, I mean, we've done this was like our
Few
4th
days.
day doing it.
Mhm.
And whenever they hear the timer, they all know exactly to stop and look to see which timer is now moving. So
Ooh.
like they all knew like, oh, this is the group that's now with Mr. McCormick. So
Yeah.
it's gotten like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days and they're already knowing where they need to go.
Right. And then when you're meeting with kids, whatever group you have, then nobody's going, what do I do? What am I working on?
Exactly. It's
Like you
all
already
on the screen
know it's
for
already
them.
on the screen. This screen is so cool. This like, I mean, okay, what's the difference between this and Google Slides? Because that's what we used a lot. We use Google
Right.
Slides. I mean, I don't want to get into it crazy because we can tease this for next time. But
Right.
what's cool is like on this left side, Joe, that you have, it's just like a lot of little widgets and like things
Right.
on the camera.
So you can add all sorts of different things.
All sorts of things.
I really love the timers. I'm like nerding out about it. I could have like 18 timers on here for different things.
Oh, I love the fact that there's already an audio with some lo-fi so that you
Oh
don't
my gosh, me too. That is something that I actually have added on this one. You can see just as student A, B, C, D, but on the one that has my student names on it, I definitely have this audio widget.
Yeah.
And then I just choose
Preset.
Lo-Fi Girl.
I do lo-fi girl.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So
then
yeah,
that's just so it's great.
so it's amazing.
You can add YouTube videos. You can
I mean,
add
imagine if you have like a
pictures.
little lesson, like this could
There's clip
be,
art to choose from.
it's so
So it's so awesome. And then you can save your template. So like I have this saved, and then I have one for each day of the week because who I meet with is
it's
changes
different.
throughout the week. So like I've saved, this is what my Monday looks like, this is what my Tuesday looks like.
So pretty cool. But so if you're a member
That's a little
already,
bit more than a tease, but
if you're a member, go in and try it.
yes, because it's really cool.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I mean, you can also try it if you're not a member. You know, you'll still get to try it out in some capacity, but we're just continuing to add more to this platform because we want it as teachers, and we know
It
that
keeps just coming from feedback, you
feedback.
know, like,
Yeah.
and like what Quinn and I are doing in our classroom. Like we
Mhm.
try something and then we're like, Qua, can you do this for us? And then he's
Yeah.
like, actually, let me try.
Yeah. And
And
we've got coworkers using it now who are also
awesome.
giving their feedback, and it's making immediate changes. So it's really cool. So, you know, reach out to us if you're using it.
Right.
Send us an email.
And
Or
that
you
goes back to the AI test generator too, because
yeah.
since that's still in beta, that's kind of what that means, right? Is that we're still building it. So if you can give us all the feedback, Qua definitely can use that to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, if you want to reach out to us, you know, you can find us on Instagram. We're Top Floor
Yes.
Teachers. But we also have an email. It's team@instructron.com.
And you
And
can reach
and
Instructron on Instagram as well.
yeah, and so any feedback we'll take. But we're looking forward to going over some more stuff next week.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you come back and join us.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.